This is just a short introduction and insight into Senior Cycle Leaving Cert Art and what the course will contain. So a summary of the course. The art course for Leaving Cert is about developing the student's ability in a range of artistic fields and disciplines. The syllabus permits a huge number of media, from the fine arts such as sculpture, drawing and painting, to puppet making, embroidery, calligraphy, metalwork and pottery. Students are expected to spend the duration of the course participating and developing their skills in several of these areas. A lot of these crafts will have been explored at junior cycle. These 2 years will see students exploring crafts on a larger scale, and the student is also given the opportunity to focus on their preferred crafts. So why study art? If you want to study more in an artistic area, you can continue in fine art and specialise in painting, sculpture or printmaking at third level. Alternatively, you could go into design area and specialise in areas such as fashion, graphic, interior or furniture design. Studying art, as the title suggests, allows students to be creative, explore their desire for self-expression and develop an appreciation for the artistic work of others, including the work of famous artists and the history of art. In recent years, art students have also developed a keen interest in animation and architecture, and the art department can advise on courses to help you gain entry to third level. This subject builds skills and knowledge that are particularly useful for careers in the following career sectors: advertising, marketing and public relations, architecture, computer and interior design, art, craft, design and animation, fashion and beauty, history, culture and languages, education, teaching and art therapy, music, performing arts and photography. The list is endless. What kind of student would art be most suited? Students who have shown an aptitude for art, for example by getting high grades in the junior cycle course. Anyone considering a career in a creative discipline such as architecture, marketing, film and entertainment, web design, fashion, game design or advertising. Students who enjoy expressing themselves through art and like to sketch or doodle. Students who are prepared to work hard at developing their artistic talent. It's also important to mention that for most third level art and design courses, a portfolio is required as well as the leaving certificate. And the art department can assist you in your portfolio preparation or advise on PLC courses that involve portfolio development. We actively engage with Abbeyleix Further Education Centre and Portlaoise College and attend taster days in which students get a feel for what these courses have to offer. So a course overview. Leaving Certificate Art is offered at higher and ordinary level. The syllabus is a broadly based course which is made up of 3 units. These units link together and are based on the everyday visual experience of the student's own environment. This cohort of 5th year students will be met with a new course layout, and as you can see, the traditional life drawing exam has been removed and life drawing may be explored within the practical coursework. So the practical coursework or the project is worth 50%. And that will be completed between January and April of 6th year. The practical exam, which is 5 hours long, is worth 20% and that will be scheduled sometime in May. The written exam, worth 30%, will be scheduled with the rest of the Leaving Cert exams in June. So the course content then. All students, both ordinary and higher level, follow a common course. The practical work can include life sketching, still life, imaginative composition, design and craft work. The history of art and appreciation is a broad course covering Irish, European art and art appreciation. It requires looking at artwork using reproductions, slides and art galleries, reading books and writing essays on different subjects. The art history trip to Newgrange occurs yearly to the burial site there, and gallery visits both local and national will happen on a yearly basis to accompany the history of art studies. So looking at the coursework in more detail. Section 1 is the imaginative composition or still life, and section 2 is design or craft work. So an imaginative composition is a composition created and inspired totally by the student's imagination, or perhaps inspired by objects that they have observed and sketched and rearranged the composition. Whereas a still life is objects laid out in a particular order on a table in front of them and sketched directly how they are observed. Design, as opposed to craft work, is designing for a realised piece, not necessarily making it, whereas craft work, you go ahead and you complete the craft work and make the realised piece. So for example, if you're designing for block printing, a liner print, you fully produce and finish the liner print and present the printed work as your final realised piece. The coursework will be completed from January till April of 6th year, like we said. The 2 components will be based on a theme selected by the student. So the State Exams Commission give 3 themes to the 6th years, and the students then get to explore the 3 themes and then decide on one that they will explore further and complete their realised piece in relation to that one selected theme. Each candidate will be required to create and submit 1 realised work completed in class and 1 realised work completed during the practical exam. Again, you have a choice whether you do your craft work in class or in the exam, or your imagined composition and still life in class or in the exam setting. All the preparatory work will be completed in the workbook during class, so all your sketches and your build up to your final design pieces will be completed in the workbook in class time. So the History of Art section. The art course also features a written examination on history and appreciation of art, which counts for 30% of the marks. Traditionally, the exam was divided into 3 sections, 1 on Irish art, 1 on European art, and a final section on artistic appreciation. The course content is extremely broad and covers everything from prehistoric art to the modern day, but students are free to focus their studies on a few narrow areas. Diagrams and illustrative sketches are encouraged in the exam and will accompany the essays. As I mentioned, the senior cycle art course will also see changes made to the traditional art history exam. Originally, students would have been given a paper with 20 essay questions in which they had to have a choice and were only required to answer 3. The new art history course will offer students the opportunity to study contemporary as well as historic art. Hence, the art department are frequent visitors to the Dunamaze Art Centre, Stradbally Art House and Waterford Walls, to name just a few. Is art required for 3rd level? For most 3rd level art and design courses, a portfolio is required as well as the Leaving Certificate. So like we said, portfolios take a lot of time to complete, and some students take night classes, summer courses to complete them. There are also several portfolio preparation courses offered through PLC courses. Portfolios can also be prepared during Art Club, which runs weekly during lunch, which gives 5th and 6th years the opportunity to complete a portfolio while in school if that suits them. The Art Club has also helped students prepare portfolios for architecture courses as well as art college courses. And we make yearly visits to the National College of Art and Design in Dublin and Limerick School of Art and Design for their portfolio open days. So some frequently asked questions. Can I select art as an option if I didn't complete it at junior cycle? Absolutely. All the art department asks is that you have a keen interest in drawing and sketching and can display some evidence of ability. Will I be at a disadvantage compared to students who did? No, as 5th year allows all students to revisit crafts and experiment with new craft areas. All areas will be demonstrated and techniques explained to ensure each student is offered equal opportunities. What materials and costs are involved? In 1st year, students purchase an art pack for €20 from the teacher. This includes your folder, drawing materials and sketch pads. That folder can accompany you right through to 6th year. In 5th year, a materials fee of €20 is collected to replenish sketch pads and pencils and cover all materials costs for the year. Materials costs such as clay, paper, liner prints, etching sheets, whatever you might need throughout the year. And you'll also be required to purchase a book for the history section. I hope that was of some use and answers most of your questions. If you have any further questions, feel free to email the art department.